Have you ever felt disappointed with the lack of support after you had your baby, or maybe you felt isolated because no one showed up to help you, and you maybe even felt unprepared, and also that your boundaries weren't even respected by people who were coming around? These are really common problems, and I really want to help mums be able to speak up and receive the help and the support that they need. Hi, I'm Tara from Postpartum Nurturing, and thanks for joining me today. So, as I said, it's really common to have these happening in this day and age, in this culture, in Australian and in American and other cultures, other countries as well. We've forgotten or not even known about traditional cultures where a mum is cared for in those first few weeks, whether it's 40 days or 4 weeks or 6 weeks, and nourished and nurtured and completely supported so that she can focus on healing and recovering and bonding and breastfeeding and just being there for her baby and her family. So if you have just had a baby, or if you are about to have your first baby, or even you're having, your second or subsequent babies, now is the time to actually start learning how to speak up and say what it is that you're needing help with, or what you know that you're going to need help with. And sometimes that's really hard to do if you've never had a baby before, you haven't even been around people who have had babies. You don't know what you don't know. And so it's really hard to actually sort of plan that ahead of time. But if you have been there before, and you know that the first time round, there was a lot of challenges, you were isolated. There's been mums I've spoken to who have got FIFO partners, so they're in mining towns. There's other people who just feel like they don't have anyone, and it can be really challenging. So I feel like no one knows no one. Okay, I know everyone's got someone that they know, and it can feel really isolating, but I think this is where we need to sort of really sit down and write out just a handful of people. Just start with 2 or 3 people that could be there for you, or at least you can speak up and ask for things with. So having said that, you want to try and also have the person that you're going to ask be sort of matched for the things that you specifically are needing. So I've said this before, there's no point asking an auntie or a friend if they don't like cooking to prepare a meal for you. So you want to try and match that. And also, just a note with the help, people don't necessarily know how to help. And so that's why a lot of people pull back, and then the mama feels like she's being ignored or rejected or isolated. And so we need to find our voice. You need to find your voice to be able to, first of all, get clear on what it is that you're needing help with, what area you think that would make the biggest difference for you. And then second of all, a list of a couple of people. Just start with 2 or 3 people that you can ask. And if they say no, that's okay. Have another person that you can ask as well. And then try and really match the people with that task. So if you have the need for some meals, you know that you're going to need some meals, and you might have some prepared in the freezer, but only to last you maybe a week or 2. Ask someone who you know is a good cook, and you give them some recipes that you've got. I've got some recipes actually on my free guide too that you can use to give to family and friends, and say, can you please make this for me? Maybe ask them to make it during after you've had the baby in that first week, and just to simply drop it off and not rather than stay and try and have a conversation and cuddle the baby, just ask them to drop it off at the door. Or if you feel like inviting them in so that they can help you prepare it or warm it up, or serve it up or something, then by all means do that. You've got to follow your own intuition there. So yeah, that's one example of getting someone to help you with some meals and broths. Keep them easy to digest, keep them warm, keep them nourishing, and with lots of protein and good fats as well. Even something like protein balls, have someone bring some snacks around so you've got them there ready when you're breastfeeding and you've got the pang of hunger, you've got something nutritious to snack on. If you know someone who just loves house cleaning, or hire a house cleaner, have someone come and just specifically focus on that one job. Maybe they can boil the kettle for you and make you a cup of herbal tea while they're there, but you need to ask for this. You need to speak up and say, oh, hey, would you mind please making me a cup of tea? We have become really conditioned to do everything ourselves and have this super mum cape on. And in the times when we've just had a baby, or we have got a newborn and even one a few months old, and other babies or other children, it gets chaotic, it gets very challenging, and we need to learn how to speak up. What else did I want to touch on? The boundaries. That's right. So respecting, like there's been other mums telling me that they haven't had their boundaries respected. This is a really challenging thing. I've been there too. I didn't really get good at it, unfortunately. For most things. For some things I definitely did. So I'm getting better, much better now. So it's about cultivating that confidence in yourself and your self-worth. And you know that you're worthy, that your boundaries matter. And so it's a matter of sitting down and working out what you value, what is important to you, and putting that into a boundary so that you can let family and friends know, look, I do not want perfume on if you're going to hold my baby. And you can let them know in advance. If you're coming to visit, please make sure you're not wearing commercial perfume or strong essential oils. There is nothing wrong with that. In fact, it's absolutely your right and privilege as a parent. You can set boundaries around when to hold the baby, or or when to visit, the environment that you want to have around your baby. So you need to sit down and talk with your partner, if you've got one, and really nut out what is important to you both, how you want to raise your family, and set those boundaries down and just work with one at a time. So pick one that's going to be relatively easy for you to communicate, and then get confident with that, and then you can bring in more. So there's just a few tips there today. I trust that they'll be of benefit to you. If you've got any questions, as usual, please reach out. And if you haven't already downloaded my free, where is it? Sorry, I didn't have that even ready. The free guide that I've got, it's available. It's the postpartum Mama's Guide to Postpartum Wellness. It's got recipes in there. It's got tips and things about iron and magnesium. Grab that today, and then you'll be on the email list for my weekly emails with tips as such, and recipes and different specials and things like that, and how you can work with me if it is something that you're looking to do. Okay, have a beautiful day, Mama, and remember to speak up, find your voice, set those boundaries, and know that you are worthy.